Today we're going to be doing a unboxing and review of a glary guitar. Now the unboxing will be quick, but I just wanted to show you that the guitar comes in a wedge box. So nothing spectacular on the box per se, and there's a reason for that. This guitar is $65 US shipped, which is probably why I got so many emails from you guys asking me to check one out. So of course, we're gonna check it out and see if it's worth it. Although at $65, I mean, I don't know how it's not gonna be worth something. Let's take a look. So, all right, so here we go. Now, here is another thing that is kind of shocking. It's not just a guitar, it comes with a bag. This gig bag is what I affectionately call a dust cover bag. What I mean by that is there's zero padding. It's just literally vinyl. It's one ply of vinyl. There is literally no padding. Obviously it will work. It's got two straps sewn onto it, a carrying handle, and for the price of the guitar, this is more than adequate, good at keeping the dust off, but if you bump it into anything, it's not going to protect it. Then you get, of course, the trim alarm, a cable. It's the free cable you get with most guitars, so again, these cables aren't extremely valuable. You get a pick and a strap, and the strap is, again, very on the inexpensive side, but you know. So now what I'm really curious about is fit and finish and how it looks, because I'm expecting kind of a little bit of that, you know, the pictures on the website show one thing and it comes in looking like something else. So let's take a look. Basically, I was trying to say I was expecting to see a guitar you would see at a department store. Well, it's very light, which is great because obviously this is going to be geared for newer players, and newer players are definitely going to appreciate how light, really light. This is nice. Like, I wish my Strat was this weight. So, it's very impressive. I mean, I hate to say it. The question is, what price point would it not be impressive? It's definitely the $65 price. At $75, it would still be impressive. At $99, it would not be impressive, but even $99 shipped, then again, impressive, because shipping is worth $30, $40 to $60, depending on where you're shipping it to. So we'll go over a couple of the things I noticed right away. The first thing I noticed right away is the neck feels good. It's a good carve. So if you're familiar with a Fender style guitar, this will be like that. Definitely there's some rough sand on it. In other words, right around here, which could be easily fixed with some steel wool or a high grade sandpaper, but it's a little rough. No fret sprout, but again, we won't know that. It could still sprout in a week or two after this. It's been sitting here for a week, so nothing yet, but it could happen. Nut looks like it's cut well. Yeah. So things I'm still really impressed with. The tuning keys, usually, like even Squier, when they get to this lowest price point, they go with the cheapest tuning key. That's not what you see here. This tuning key is at least 1 to 2 grades above the cheapest tuning keys I've seen. So an impressive choice. Let's tune her up. Keep in mind, I'm not saying this guitar is amazing. What I'm saying is this guitar is as good as any guitar for $100. The color on this is great. I'm gonna walk up to the camera just because I want, look at that. I just wanna show you that blue. And I picked this out because I actually picked this guitar out because I thought they wouldn't get this right. You know what I mean? I thought this would be really dark and you wouldn't even be able to see the grain because it's probably like a basswood body. The back is all black, and there's definitely a lot of hazing on this. I mean, it was definitely buffed in a hurry. This guitar has signs of being put together very quickly and built very quickly. Okay, let's do this. think if you bought this guitar and a good tuner, I think you'd be set. If I was going to guess, what it feels like is that Glary Guitars is essentially selling you the guitar at wholesale. They're selling you the guitar that you would sell to a store. A store would pay about $65 to $75 for a guitar like this, turn around and then sell it for $100 to $120. So I think that's what they did. They just cut out the middleman and they're going right to you and you're going to save the money. Yeah, but Phil, Glary sent you the guitar. They probably picked out the best one. In my experience, a lot of companies, they don't do that, believe it or not. You think they would. You think they'd send for review the best sample they could, but a lot of times they just don't care. In this case, I know they didn't particularly handpick this one because it just went right out. There was just no way. So it's possible they could have had some pre-labeled and ready for review, but again, that's not my experience with companies. Everything's possible. Let's hear some overdrive. I'm going to go ahead and just use my Boss SD1 Super Overdrive, which costs about $65. So it has a tremolo arm. We're gonna try it because I'm sure I could tell you guys that if you're starting out, you shouldn't use one of these. But I also know that if you get this guitar in the mail and you get this tremolo arm, you're gonna be like, I wanna try it. What I can tell you when you're dealing with inexpensive guitars like this is that the tremolo arm, when it gets a little like tight, not only will you strip it, you could break it off. So. Yeah. And of course we're knocking it out of tune. Now a lot of this is going to be the string stretching. So two things I will tell you. Two things I'll definitely tell you. If this is what you're looking at for a first guitar, I definitely think if you're on a budget, there's nothing wrong with this, especially if you're looking to get it as a gift for someone who's literally like you're just wanting to test the waters. There's no way this is going to be a bad investment at this point. But a couple things you want to do. You definitely want to invest in having a tuner. Whether it's a tuner on your phone as an app or a clip-on tuner or some kind of tuner, you're going to want a tuner. I would recommend a clip-on tuner. This guitar is going to require a little bit of adjustment on more often. The other thing is I would definitely invest in taking a pencil and running a pencil in each slot to help lubricate the nut, to help the string stay in tune. That's a quick, easy fix that you can do, and that'll help you with the graphite that's in the pencils. That'll help lubricate that nut and keep the guitar in tune. Other than that, I think you'd be fine. You might have an issue of fret sprout, but I have videos right here, which will show you how to take care of that if that becomes an issue. For most do-it-yourselfers, it's easy fix to do that. Keep it in mind on this kind of guitar, this is a great guitar to not only buy as a first-time guitar, but if you definitely want to learn to work on guitars, this is another great tool for that. You can learn to use to solder wiring, you can learn to refret, you could learn to install a nut. I mean, this is a great guitar to invest some time in. At $65, you know, you could look at it like, well, if you put a couple $100s into it, it's not going to be a $300 guitar. It's not going to have a value of that kind of guitar. But again, you could learn the skill set on this guitar and maybe donate it or sell it off, and definitely would be very inexpensive. You can't buy a class for $65, I can tell you that, to learn how to work on something like this. So a couple of videos, and there you go. Very cool. I gotta say I'm impressed. I didn't know what to expect. You know, when you hear $65, basically I was trying to say I was expecting to see a guitar you would see at a department store. Now, I want to thank Glary Guitars, not only because they sent the guitar out, but I let them know that we have a viewer out there who's a teacher who's got an after-school program for kids, and he needed some guitars. Andrew's got a question, says, do you know of anyone donating guitars for kids? I'm teaching 7 kids. The answer is yes. A lot of times what I like to do
is if I can call in a favor or two with a company. Hey, you got a guitar you can send to somebody like this? They're really cool and commenting. Maybe we could probably take care of that.
What's great is you guys had requested this review from Glary Guitars. You wanted a Glary review. Glary said, hey, they would love to send a guitar out. And when I said, hey, I want to do a sponsored video so we can send a couple guitars out to help him out, they were up for that as well. Thank them so much again for doing that. I think it's a win-win. Definitely check out the guitar if you're in that market. And like I said, this guitar is going to go to a new beginner, someone who's going to learn how to play guitar. So I'm excited about that. And we'll pick out a different color and send that one as well. So there's your first ever $65 guitar review on the channel. And as always, I want to thank you guys so much for your time. And until next time, know your gear.